Alright, are we live? Hope so. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, now I just gotta. Okay, so you guys are probably gonna see this in video form, but I plan to be doing live streams sometime. Most of you are probably gonna see this in video form because you don't have push notifications on for me. I'm not dead. I just don't have a lot of time to record, so I think I might just be doing these episodes live. What I'm going to be doing here is I'm going to be working on a replication of Cosmic PvP's enchants in coding. So I already started and I was like, you know what, why don't I live stream? So I'm probably going to be live streaming my coding instead of actually recording it. And I'm gonna put all the stuff in the description for the video because once with YouTube Gaming, once you're done streaming, it turns into recording. So I have some simple stuff here. I've got a class called Enchantment that has a few methods. Each one of these enchant classes extends enchantment. So they have a name, a description, a max level, a tier, and a type. And then so the next thing is the enchantment manager. This one is going to be getting all the active enchantments so we can loop through it later. I have it organized right now. I have the simple and the soul enchantments. This is a class to help me because enchantments, as you know in Minecraft, are Roman numeral. So this converts Roman numerals to number and number to Roman numeral. This class I made because if you're not familiar with Cosmic PvP, certain enchantments require souls, which you get from kills with a soul tracker. So this gets the remaining souls on a soul gem. This sets the remaining souls. This gets a random integer because we're going to need that sometimes. And this will build an enchantment book based on the enchantment we give it. This will start an ender pearl cooldown. And this will spawn a player skull, which we need for confusion, and we need that in general because that's how it's gonna work. Our main class currently consists of an on-enable method that registers the utils, the enchantment manager, and the two listeners. We also have a runnable that if the person has a soul gem enabled, it plays the enchant particles that Cosmic PvP has. So I think now what we're gonna do is we're gonna work on some soul enchantments. So currently, I have the event for when you activate a soul gem, so it adds you to the soul queue. So this event is a entity damaged by entity, meaning another entity hits, in this case, the player. So a player hits a player. Nature's Wrath, Teleblock, and Divine. So those are strings, and what I do is I loop through, in this case, the leggings first, and so I check if the leggings have an item meta and if they have a lore. And if they have a lore, I loop through the lore, like the actual description of the lore, and I strip the colors from it, and I check if a line starts with Nature's Wrath. If it does, Nature's Wrath equals that, and found Nature's Wrath equals true. So it checks if it finds Nature's Wrath. If it found Nature's Wrath, and the person has less than 25 souls remaining, it'll tell them souls, you do not have enough souls for Nature's Wrath. Remaining souls, and then their remaining souls, and then I'll turn their soul mode off. If they do have enough, it will get a random int from 1 to 100, and if it's 10%, this is for level 1, so if it's 10%, no, sorry, it'll always be 10%, and if the level is 1, the duration is 20, then 60, then 100. Those are ticks, not actual seconds. So 20 ticks, that would be 1 second, 60, that would be 3 seconds, 100 would be 5, 140 would be 7. This gets all players in a 30 by 30 radius, including like all Y pretty much. I actually might change that to 30. So it loops through all the entities, and it gets it within a sphere. Next, if the entity is a player, so if the found entity in the sphere is a player, and it's not the person who has Nature's Wrath, it sets a boolean for did proc, which I believe is used. It's used somewhere, so it doesn't proc more than once. Yeah, here you go. So if it did proc, then it gets the remaining souls, and it says Nature's Wrath, remaining souls, and then their soul amount. Anyways, back to up here. So it did proc. So it creates a runnable. So if it's level 1, it strikes 2 lightning bolts and does 6 damage. If it's level 2, more lightning bolts, more damage. So it's the duration that really increases. So it'll do that. Oh wait, where is I don't think, yeah. Alright, this is supposed to be duration. There we go. So do it for that long. Down here, TB. So we have this is going to be our teleblock class. So if the player, so event.getEntity. So if the hit entity is a player, and the damager is an arrow. So if the player's hit by an arrow, we loop through the player and the bow, and we basically do the same thing we did for the Nature's Wrath, just with teleblock. We make sure it has teleblock. And if they have 4 souls, we say if they don't have 4 souls, we say they don't have enough. If they do, and it's a 15% proc chance, it will get rid of ender pearls from their inventory and put them on ender pearl cooldown. This one is for divine immolation. So it checks if their item in hand has divine immolation. I didn't do sword because I'm probably going to put this plugin for release, and you're not going to be able to put divine immolation on an axe, but if you spawn it in, you will be able to. So if you don't have 2 souls, you can't use divine immolation. I have it right now. I have divine proccing every hit, but I'm going to need to change that to it. Sorry, taking souls every hit. It's going to need to take souls every second that the soul chip's activated. So it'll send them divine immolation, and so it'll damage them based on the level, and it'll set their fire ticks. Last one, this is immortal. This checks if it has immortal, and if it does, it'll tell you the remaining souls, and you do not have enough souls for immortal. So that does it. The reason there's a lot is I have to do it for each armor piece, because you can have all 4 pieces with immortal, so the immortal would have to proc 4 times. And this just checks if they're in an ender pearl cooldown. It cancels it and says teleblock, you are currently unable to ender pearl. So what we need to work on is Paradox, Phoenix, and I need to make Soul Trap. So let's start that. So let's start that now. I just need to make a class for Soul Trap. Soul Trap. Axe Enchantment. Active Soul Enchantment. I need to, hold on, I need to get the actual definition. I need to get the actual lore and the soul cost. So let's see. is it here? Nature's Wrath, Divine Immolation. Oh, I'm trying to see. I don't really see it. Oh, I is. Oh, there we go. I fixed my stream. What? No, it's not really that fixed. Hold on, I need to. There we go. It's more watchable now. It's 720p. It's a bit grainy though. I'll fix that for next stream. Sorry if it was a bit grainy at the beginning. It should be good now, and I'll make it better for next season. So let's see. Let's see if we can find. Okay, here we go. Active soul enchantment. Your X is okay. Perfect. So this costs 12 souls per second. And the actual definition for it is your axe is imbued with sealing magic. So we'll have that as our first line. Next, and has the chance to disable all offensive soul enchants. We'll do as the next line. And the last one will be of your opponent's on hit. There we go. So, that's Divine Immolation. Sorry, that's Soul Trap. So I feel like the next thing we'll do is we're gonna have to make so all offensive soul enchantments. That's gonna be